Hello, is this thing on? Oh, there we are, we're live. Welcome, everybody. So, H3, Ethan Klein, the guy who frequently gets banned for 1 week on YouTube. I don't even know how many times it's happened so far. It feels like it's happened at least, 5 or 6 times, where Ethan gets banned for 1 week for saying something against TOS. That's kind of dumb. It's up for debate whether, it's actually morally wrong that he said these things. But regardless, very obvious that they break YouTube TOS. Yet he keeps saying these dumb things that gets him banned for a week. Last time it was the NRA bombing comment. And this time, he said Ben Shapiro should get gassed. We have this tweet from Andy that says, I hope Ben Shapiro gets gassed first. Left-wing YouTube star Ethan Klein, H3, muses about another Holocaust against the Jews. And he says he hopes Ben Shapiro is killed first. Let's watch this.
I was just going to say, if there's another Holocaust and people start rounding up the Jews... I just say, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first.
Super extreme. I mean, obviously, the fucking producers knew that this was a bad comment, considering the little technical difficulties meme. So yeah, very, very bad. And obviously, he got banned for it. Now, unfortunately, I'm still blocked by Ethan Klein, so these next ones I had to actually screenshot. But, this is what Ethan has to say about... Wait, actually... Yeah, okay, so first Ben Shapiro responds to it. And he says, if there was another Holocaust, I would hope that Ethan and his family escaped. But maybe that's just me. Then we have the follow-up. He says, soft-pedaling genocide terror group Hamas, and lying about the IDF... while quarreling over which Jews go first in the next Holocaust is also an interesting look. A lot of words I don't understand. I'm not political, guys. I'm really not political. So, this terminology is really going to go over my head. And I'm not very globally aware either. So, these terms I'm not familiar with because I'm not Jewish myself. But regardless, he quote tweets a tweet that was made by Ethan on May 5th, 2021, where Ethan says, my thoughts on the Palestine/Israeli conflict. The Israeli government is making me sick. Even if Hamas is operating out of a civilian building, it doesn't justify the total destruction of that building. It's inhumane. Oh my god, I'm gonna mispronounce this so badly. Netanyahu is a piece of shit warmonger and needs to go. As a dual citizen, I love Israel and the Israeli people. They deserve a government that actually believes in peace and not force and violence. The ultra-right Jewish settlers are among the greatest provocators in the world. Or provocators in the world. They are shameless and hateful, fueled by religious zeal and enabled by the Israeli government. I wish the settling and repossession of Palestine land would stop. I wish the bombing in Gaza would stop. Gazans deserve to live a life free of fear. For all of the crimes Hamas has committed, we must always remember that they are not Palestine. The Israeli government holds all of the power, and it is on them to stop violence and show a true willingness for peace. Seems like he wants peace. I agree. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced any of this. Admittedly, I'm not political. I'm not caught up on this stuff. Obviously, I care about people not dying, peace and all that, but I'm just not familiar with this situation. So I apologize for any, mispronunciations. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. So Ethan Klein quote tweets Ben Shapiro and says, hey Ben, it's a joke. Do conservatives know what those are? And sure, in poor taste. But not as poor taste as you platforming anti-Semites who spread dangerous conspiracies that lead to real violence against Jews. That's the meaning of my joke. But of fucking course you don't care about the context. Ben Shapiro, intellectual titan, arguing with this guy, by the way, showing off his beautiful new haircut. Ethan also makes this tweet. No, I don't like when he jokes about us. X-fans. I miss old H3 and his edgy humor. Cry. Also X-fans when Ethan has edgy humor. I'm mad you said this to Ben Shapiro, blah, blah, blah. Alright. Then Vosh responds, and it gets retweeted by Ethan. You don't understand Ben's point. Dark humor about the Holocaust is unacceptable, but promoting the ideology that led to the Holocaust is totally okay. I hope this helps. And then we have this long thread from Ethan about the situation. A few white supremacists successfully lobbied YouTube to suspend me, a Jewish dual citizen of Israel and USA, for anti-Semitism. Ben Shapiro and friends can virtue signal all they want, but ultimately they are the ones platforming dangerous anti-Semites. All I did was point it out. Ben Shapiro, who was happy to perform a purity test on me and declare me a bad Jew for criticizing Israel, hosts Candace. Hitler just wanted to make Germany great again, Owens on his website, The Daily Wire. He is consistently excusing, enabling, and platforming real anti-Semitism. The joke that I was suspended for simply points out that Ben, who is desperate to be accepted by his Christian nationalist friends as white, will only ever be seen by them as a useful idiot, and sadly for him, a Jew. The people reporting me accepting Ben are tiki torch carrying white Christian nationalists. They do not give a fuck about anti-Semitism or Jewish people. They revel in the fact that YouTube and other institutions are so quick to act on bad faith and malicious outrage. They are currently the greatest beneficiaries of cancel culture, identity politics, and moral outrage. It's incredible that they become the party of free speech while decrying and lobbying for my deplatforming. They both condemn and defend cancel culture in the same breath. I, unlike many who would dismiss me as woke, have spent hundreds of thousands actively fighting to strengthen our First Amendment. Our lawsuit against Matt Haas has been published on copyright.gov as a seminal case for fair use, and is often cited in legal briefs. Our current lawsuits with Ryan Kavanaugh seeks to accomplish the same. I will not back down or be silenced by bad faith provocators. I know I probably said that wrong, but you know the word I meant. I make no apology. As Ben Shapiro says, facts don't care about your feelings, if only he meant it. And I, once again, humbly request that naysayers, haters, detractors, and fallen fans alike suck my tiny Jewish dick. Thank you. Baron sent $2. This is weapon grades cope from Ethan. Well, I can't comment on how much cope this is or not, because honestly, I don't know enough about this whole, politics and anti-Semitism and like all the Jewish, issues. I just don't know about it. So I honestly can't say. I'm just reading it out for you guys. But I will comment on some other things. And if anyone else donates, I will try to catch it when it happens. But if not, we will read it at the end. Speaking of a donation, Butt Selfie sends to... Guys, go Zub to H3. Oh, wait. So H3 is not banned on YouTube, like, as in terminated, but he is banned from uploading for a week, which, has happened multiple times. So, let's read some tweets about Ethan Klein, because there's a lot of actually mixed opinions. Usually with Ethan Klein, you see the same type of people go against him, and the same type of people kind of defend him. But this time we have a bit of a mix. Prime example would be Augie and Nick. So let's read out Nick's stuff first, and then we'll go to Augie's. Friends of the show, by the way. Great people, great content. If they would upload, they don't upload nearly enough. Regardless, Nick Diorio says, for once let me double check if there's any like tweets beforehand, because I want to read all of his tweets. Alrighty. Okay. So that is the first tweet. For once, Ethan Klein did not receive special treatment. He was banned for a week and received a strike over an obvious joke. Ethan has a long documented history of reasons that well establish why I should not care. But it feels weird to side with YouTube's dogshit TOS. If a friend of mine received a strike for saying something similar, I would be on Twitter under their ban thread and actively defending them. Sorry, but this shit is gross, dude. And then he shows a tweet from somebody. He blocks out the name, so I don't know who this is. But they say, got the H3 podcast suspended from YouTube again for hate speech. Let's go! Sorry, Ethan, but hate speech has no place on YouTube in 2020, sweetie. Also, YouTube is a private company, and they get to decide what is allowed on their platform. And then it shows that he reported the H3 podcast where he said this stuff about Ben Shapiro for hate speech, and it did eventually get taken down. Then we have this last tweet from Nick in his thread. I think half of the reason I have sympathy for him is because have been blocked for 2 years and kept safely away from shit like this. Holy fuck, I am cringing. And then he shows the post that I just read. Sometimes I forget how nutso H3 can be too, because I don't watch his podcast, only like sometimes if like something relevant comes up for me to cover. And I'm also blocked on Twitter, so I actually miss a lot of the stuff, and my memory is like really bad. Fun fact, the whole reason I started creating Twitterverses was initially just for myself to remember the tweets for myself. That was before I read them aloud. So my memory is really bad, and sometimes I just forget how bad Ethan is. But in my head, I do remember that he did shit. I just sometimes forget. So that's relatable. Let's get back to Ethan Klein. We have this from... Okay, we have more quote tweets, and we'll look at a lot of these. But I was trying to get to Augie, but it just, like, fucking... got away from me. Hell yeah, dude. Alright. Okay. It's only 2 tweets. I feel like every time Ethan Klein makes an edgy joke and everyone pretends to soy face about how mean and offensive he is, they aren't joking, laughing my ass off. I've seen way too many people say that his Holocaust joke was actually bad. It was kind of awesome, actually. Wavy Webster responds, you're right, they 100% do this, but it's impossible for me to give any morsel of shit considering it's Ethan Klein. And he does the exact same thing to everybody else. Alright. And then the next tweet. Ben Shapiro is mad at Ethan Klein for criticizing Israel, while Ethan Klein is calling for a new Holocaust to murder Ben. But Ethan is also criticizing Ben for having Candon Owis on his website praising Hitler, and now blames white supremacists for banning his video. Nice. What side are they on? I don't know, dude! I think it's safe to say that both Ben and H3 probably want what's best for the Jewish people, considering they're both Jewish. But I don't know enough about Ben Shapiro to say that for sure. I don't really watch Ben Shapiro. I only know the memes where he's like, so hypothetically, and then like, if you're my little daddy, and then like all that fucking shit. Or like him trying to say like, wet ass P word. Like that's all I know about Ben Shapiro. Mr. Joe Star since 5. Ethan has no problem with people he disagrees with politically getting deplatformed for much less than Ethan gets a temp ban for. I agree. That's why the situation's weird, because if you guys have seen my previous videos, I had the same stance with the NRA bombing comment. You know, I don't think anything's actually gonna come of Ethan like saying, "Oh, you should bomb the NRA," especially when the NRA already like ended by the time that episode aired. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. So my take pretty much is that like, it's funny Ethan makes jokes about bombing and gassing people. Stop being snowflakes. I don't know. Like, maybe it's not really that funny, but I think it's more funny because people, like, freak out about it. Now, is YouTube in the right to, ban him for a week for hate speech? Absolutely. If you look at the TOS, you can't be saying stuff like that. You really can't be saying stuff like that. But in terms of morally having an issue with it, I mean, I don't care. It's just comments on the internet, right? That's my opinion. Some people won't agree, and that's fine. I'm not one of those people where it's like, everybody has to agree with me, you know? My channel is very much about forming your own opinions, so, yeah. Yo, the Sonic video got removed. Yeah, unfortunately, I uploaded a video yesterday about some Sonic creeps. Video got removed, but it will be back up sometime this weekend. But I kind of want to space it out from this live stream and the Def Noodles stuff, because I did just upload 2-hour Def Noodles video. Lots of content for you guys to watch. I want to kind of make sure you have time to watch everything before uploading something new. Anyways, let's look at more comments in regards to Ethan Klein. Dude, when I press top, it just shows me like tweets that were just made. I'm not under latest. I want to go to top. Why are they showing me tweets with 1 like from a minute ago? I want the poppin' tweets, dude. Where are the poppin' tweets about this? Here's one. Everyone has known Ethan Klein is a scumbag for years now, so I'd be more surprised if he didn't say something akin to this. Oh my god. YouTuber Ethan Klein, if there's another Holocaust, he hopes Ben Shapiro gets gassed first. This is the same man who called for the NRA conference to be bombed, but Team YouTube is more concerned about banning people who are critical of the vaccine. Well, YouTube did end up giving him a 1-week suspension, so it's fair to say that he got the proper punishment, right? Let's say, hypothetically, for the sake of argument, that someone say ye, when on an anti-Semitic tirade, saying they were going to go to DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people, and say your employee defended and doubled down on this take. Would you get madder at Ethan Klein? I assume he was doing a Ben Shapiro impression there, so I followed suit. I don't really know if that was good. I don't even hear Ben Shapiro speak. That's just how I hear people impersonate Ben Shapiro. Okay, we have to go to Twitter advanced search. It is like the only reliable way to get stuff about this. Okay, Ethan Klein. Is that how you spell Klein? Or is it I-E-N? I'm like dyslexic and I always like fuck it up. Oh yeah, it is that. Okay. Minimum likes. Let's go 500. And then we're going from October 19th. Or to October 21st. Let's see. Ethan Klein is just a nerd who doesn't know how to be edgy. He dislikes Ben Shapiro, but the only dunk he could come up with is, I hope he gets gassed in the next Holocaust. He's like George Constanza telling that guy he had sex with his comatose wife. See, this is why I don't cover like politics things on my channel, because it just gets into a territory where like, I don't even understand these words. Okay, Memology says, so Ethan Klein wants Ben Shapiro gassed first. If there's another Holocaust, wow. Let's see if YouTube gives a fuck about this. Well, I guess they did, because they did ban him for a week. Ethan Klein is Jewish. Jews are allowed to make dark jokes about their own history. Ye right now must be wondering why no groups are saying anything about this, which is far worse than anything. Is saying ye like anti-Semitic? I feel like I'm accidentally saying anti-Semitic things. I don't know what ye means. Is that like how Jewish people say yeah? Fuck. I am so oblivious, man. I feel like I'm accidentally like stepping on landmines here. What school did you go to? I haven't been in high school in like 10 years. And I did drop out in grade 11, but I mean, that's almost done. And it's Canadian school. And I was homeschooled until high school. So I don't know. Yee's Kanye West. Oh, Yee's Kanye? Okay. Thank you. School for the Gifted. I don't know. And again, I have bad memory. I don't remember anything from school, honestly. I don't remember anything. Or barely anything. No calls to have Ethan banned. No New York Times articles. No trending hashtag. No one gives a frick at all. Now, obviously, this was made on the 19th, and people are caring a little more now that he got banned. People just reposting it, sharing it. Here we go. Here's one. Bro, you literally celebrated Andrew Tate being deplatformed? How does this not come off as hypocritical? Maria responds, because Andrew Tate, a man, was spewing hate and misinformation towards a marginalized group of people. Women! In a serious manner. Ethan, a Jewish man, made a joke about another Jewish man. It's free speech, you egghead. Alright. Ben is taking the high road on someone who wishes him dead. I don't know many people on this platform who would react to Ethan's reprehensible comment that way. Alright. So it does look like there's a mix. Like, there's a lot of liked tweets that are like, okay, Ethan's Jewish, he can make these jokes. And there's also a lot of, Ben Shapiro supporters, the conservative people, or just people in general, who are saying, like, Ethan's hypocritical, or this is really bad. We have Void here. Conservatives love to throw around the term snowflake, but they act like the biggest babies. Also, we'll have a poll on what you guys think in a bit, but I want to continue reading some of these. Love, who I think works for the H3 podcast. I've seen him in, like, that monitor thing that they have. He says, yes, typical. The free speech advocates are the ones to deplatform once again. Good job, fellas. I do find that a little hypocritical. Like, these guys are like, free speech, say anything you want. And then as soon as someone they don't like says something, like, you can criticize it, yeah. Like, you can definitely go and be like, Ethan, that was a fucked up comment. I didn't appreciate that. A little too far, and all of that. But to say that, it should be censored, I think is a little over the top. Now, according to YouTube TOS, it should get banned. And if YouTube wants to be consistent with their TOS, I do think this 1 week ban is warranted. In my ideal world, would he get banned for that? No, but I don't create the YouTube TOS, right? So there's a lot of, like, intricacies here. Number one, Ethan's dumb for saying that, especially considering that he knows that this stuff is against TOS. Number two, YouTube should ban him to be consistent with that TOS. 3, do I agree with that TOS being there in the first place? No. 4, is it that bad of a joke? I guess it doesn't directly insult me, so I don't really care, but I just think words are words on the internet at the end of the day. It's just, like, Ben can live. Like, Ben has had more hate comments thrown at him than that, So that's kind of where I stand on it right now. I'm going to put up a poll on, what should the poll question be? Let's see. Ethan's Ben joke. Bad deserves ban. Not too bad, but deserves strike. Let me say strike instead of ban, because ban's hyperbolic. All right, we have the poll. The 3 options are bad, deserves a strike, not too bad, but deserves a strike, epic joke, YouTube's being unfair. My personal opinion is the second option, but I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. We have Mr. Joestar for 5 in the chat. This reminds me of when a former Twitter mutual of mine, who was extremely racist, tried to falsely cancel me as a racist because I told him off. Alright, so, maybe Twitter isn't talking too much about this, but we do have 2 subreddits that are very anti-Ethan and pro-Ethan. We have Frenemies 3, which is very anti-Ethan, and obviously his own subreddit that's very pro-Ethan. So let's read some of these and see what the people have to say. So, here's a post about it. I don't get what's so hard to understand. You can't wish death on people because you disagree with their politics. This isn't even the first time. But he's really going to play dumb and cry about it on Twitter? Figo says, it's only been 5 months since the NRA bomb threat. He never learns and loves to play dumb. Now, I can admit that he does love to play dumb because when he reacted to me, the whole address the allegations bit, he acted as if, he didn't know me, or as if, and we've talked before. So, he did definitely play dumb there. He plays dumb occasionally. Someone responds, he advocates for murder and jokes about people being killed, yet he turns himself into the victim? No other YouTuber can get away with what he says. Hottest topic response, I still don't understand why corporate YouTube rides for him so hard. He is essentially the leftist Crowder, and if YouTube was backing him, it would blow my mind. Wholesome creators rarely get this amount of unconditional support from YouTube. It's only a matter of time before conservatives stack up and realize he's bad for the brand. Simpmanson's 3, what do you think on Dan leaving newest podcast vid? Did he actually leave? Because when Ethan makes those videos, a lot of them are clickbait, right? He's like, oh, this person's leaving. Oh, I'm quitting. Oh, Ela's mad at me, There's a lot of clickbait. So I don't actually know if he's gone. Yeah, Dan leaving was a bit, I assumed. And by the way, we are going to quickly cover the whole Dan, Olivia doxing stuff. As you can see, it's in my tab right here. But we're going to cover that at the end. The stream's probably only going to be an hour, so we'll get there relatively quickly. I hope you guys are enjoying. If you do, be sure to press a like, because I might be doing more streams like this instead of just the Twitter versus videos. But as you saw previously, I do sometimes do Twitter versus videos. I did it with Amaranth, but then with the Dream stuff, I did a stream. So it's going to go back and forth. Anyways, continuing reading on with this Reddit stuff, Embarrassed Job says, because Ethan's dick is in prominent YouTubers' mouths. Pardon my language. They are scared of the blowback. Honestly, can't blame them with his fan base. I'll never understand why celebrities like Post and Oliver have his undying love for Ethan. No, Ethan said he hoped if there was a second Holocaust that Ben would get killed first. So that's fucked up. Especially since you are only Jewish, but also went to Holocaust Museum and knew what it was like. Fucked up for real. His hypocritical ass never ceases to amaze me. Ben Shapiro fell into Ethan's trap, which is dumb. Ethan just wished that Ben will perish in a second Holocaust, and is saying that isn't real anti-Semitism compared to what Ben says. Same guy who cries tears from Trisha's TikTok about paying a rabbi. He is a disingenuous dirtbag. Yeah, I do remember that stuff where, Trisha was trying to get into the Jewish culture, but she was being a little insensitive about it. You know how hyperbolic she is. She's like, oh, I have my Jew lunch, and I'm going to pay a rabbi to, make me Jewish and stuff like that. And Ethan obviously took offense to that. So people are saying that's hypocritical now, considering the comments he's making towards Ben Shapiro. Yeah, as much as I hate Ben Shapiro, I've watched so much less of his content, but a good amount of it covered his religious beliefs. Ethan, on the other hand, who I've unfortunately watched years worth of, only brings up his Jewish background when it benefits him in an internet fight. Not saying he needs to be vocal about it, but the way he weaponizes it doesn't make him look as good as everyone thinks it does. This person says, I cannot believe how hard he's trying to excuse himself for this one, and how much of a fit he's throwing. I don't know how many people are like myself, and A, would have reported this, B, could still be reasonably seen as a viewer, and C, is not a white supremacist nationalist etc. But trying to paint everyone who disagrees with his flagrantly offensive remark as a Nazi is a wild one. I didn't see it coming considering the substance. I'm an anti-fascist and all that. Sorry, my voice is just like killing me today. I don't know why. All right, now let's look at the people defending H3, because there's a lot more of them over on the H3 subreddit. A much bigger subreddit than the Frenemies 3 one. So this looks like the main post, Ben Shapiro's response. Doesn't Ben Shapiro always talk about the, wait, is that Shapiro? He says Shabibo. I feel like that's like a nickname for him or something. Doesn't he always talk about the importance of context? He's literally reacting to a 1-second clip. It's a mistake to assume he's even remotely interested in being intellectually honest or consistent. And Shapiro's in an awkward position of being a cheerleader for the party that has all of the Nazis. So if there was another Holocaust, it would come from Ben's homies. The Holocaust is coming from inside the house, Ben. I actually don't know what the full I've only watched the clip, so I actually don't know what the full context is. But according to like these Reddit comments and Ethan's tweet, there is a little bit more context. But I don't have access to it. I could look it up, and I think I probably should, but now that the video is banned, I actually don't know where to find it. But if I come across it, I'll show it to you guys. People will always point out Ethan's jokes, which everyone has their own taste, so maybe they cross a line. To me, a Jewish man can make whatever Jewish jokes they want. But what Ethan is talking about is how can Ben, an Orthodox Jewish man, platform multiple people on his network who are blatantly anti-Semitic? How can he walk around making money off people who are literally trying to destroy his people and not address it or them ever? How about you talk about that, Ben? Or when they come for Jewish people, will be leaving your friends behind? Talk about the allegations! Bitch, you have nothing! There's a lot of... Whenever I look at the subreddit, there's a lot of people quoting the talk about the allegations of bitch, you have nothing. I like it. I think it's funny. But I feel like a lot of the H3 fans thought I was like being like 100% serious and like passionate when I was saying that. Obviously, we just played it for jokes, but regardless, it is fun to see. A little weird though. I feel like the H3 fans reference it more than you guys do. You know? It's funny. It's funny. Left-wing YouTuber and extremely Jewish man, Ethan Klein. Context matters. Ethan was describing all the anti-Semitism happening and how Ben defends it and makes a bad taste joke. It's just funny how free speech absolutists that hate cancel culture and defend anti-Semitism are trying to cancel Ethan and call him an anti-Semite because what about when someone on the right says it? They are literally such reactionaries. They simultaneously defend and support the same shit at the same time. Yeah, honestly, I do think it's a little weird that, like, I understand, right wing, I don't want to demonize all conservatives, because I don't think all conservatives are bad, so I'm trying to say this in the right way, but, like, someone who makes their political leaning kind of apparent on their profile and on their social media presence, and who are right-wing and free speech or whatever, I can see them being upset at this clip from Ethan, but the whole, like, he should be banned for it, I don't really get, outside of, like, YouTube being consistent, you know? And with the YouTube being consistent, I get it, in terms of, you know, actually wanting his free speech to be censored. I find it a little weird. That's kind of my take on all of this. So yeah, that's this whole situation. Pretty crazy. And I guess you're not going to see H3 podcast for another week. You know, I don't personally have a problem with Ethan making jokes like this, but for like his own sake, he really should like tone down on it because he's gonna get himself in trouble, just like he might have got himself in trouble when talking about Alinity's husband, soon to be ex-husband. For those of you who don't know, I made a video on it a couple days ago, but Amaranth came out and talked about how abusive her husband is and how he has control of her finances and is threatening her and all that. Very horrible stuff. Pretty much everybody on the internet is in full support of Amaranth, including Ethan. And obviously, the antagonist in the situation, the person that's responsible for all this turmoil for Amaranth, is her husband. Now, her husband has been kept a secret for a while, or like an open secret, because it was talked about, like people knew she was married, but she wasn't like, reminding people of it, right? So, there's not that much info out there about Amaranth's husband because he intentionally did that as he wanted people to think she was single in order for her to get more donations. So there's not that much info, definitive info about Amaranth's husband. But one of the H3 employees, Olivia, thought she found, the account and the information for Amaranth's husband, she thought. So this is what she said about it on the podcast when she thought she found out information about Amaranth's husband.
I'd like to know these guys, man.
I know who he is.
Does he have an online persona?
No.
He's a music producer and songwriter. Yeah,
God, I hope that man's life is ruined for this.
I hope so too.
Oh, someone says, "Why are you protecting the abuser's identity?" I don't give a fuck. Give me his name.
Nick Lee.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I want this guy's life ruined. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Nick Lee. Oh, is this him?
Yeah, I would just be cautious.
That's not him.
You don't want to send a mob after the wrong person.
Oh, is he a bodybuilder?
He's a producer and
He was a bodybuilder in the past.
This Chad ass, is he Asian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope his life is over.
Fuck this guy, bro. I'm so glad we actually found his identity.
Are you guys 110% confident this is the right person?
I've heard that he was
Ian's
Asian.
not.
I don't know about
Ian's
the
not showing
bodybuilder.
this, and I think that's
I
the
wouldn't
right
show it.
call
I wouldn't
if
show
we're
it.
not 100% sure that this is the right
I
person.
heard he's an
comes-
Asian bodybuilder.
He
comes from
definitely
leaks.
does music, and his socials have been found in that regard.
Well,
I
hold
don't
on.
know.
You guys send me. Okay, you haven't shown anything in?
He has not switched
Okay,
to that.
you guys find out who the real guy is, and I'll show him. God damn.
I think we're jumping the gun. I mean, it's
What?
yeah.
How are we jumping the gun? You said we have his identity.
Yeah, so here's the issue. Olivia is saying they definitively have his identity. But Dan and AB are doing the responsible thing, being like, hey, whoa. Nick Lee is a very common name. We got to make sure that this is actually the guy. We don't want to, dox or send harassment to anybody who may not be related to the situation at all, right? Nick Lee, very common name. So Dan and AB are doing the right thing here, but Olivia just keeps pushing it, being like, yeah, this is the guy. Yeah, he's a music producer. Yeah, this is him. And Ethan's a little confused right now. He's like, okay, what is the info? Is it real or not? And he's getting conflicting answers from, multiple staff members here.
Olivia
It's
said
also-
we know who he is.
It's also his name on the marriage certificate.
It's a very common name,
Very
Nick
small chance
Lee.
that it's
That is
not.
not
Yeah,
a
very
unique
common.
name whatsoever. So I just want to be very sure that we're not sending a mob of people after the wrong Nick Lee. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, okay, so next time you guys, if you say we know who he is, make sure that...
Yeah,
that's
no,
true.
that was jumping the gun a
Yes.
little bit. Apologies.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian, for not showing. Should we worry about what is best for Amaranth? Maybe she doesn't want to show him? Someone said Nick Lee has tweets confirming their marriage.
Yeah, it's in 2020 when those certificates surfaced. Supposedly, he posted them. They are on a Twitter that belongs to Nick Lee, who claims to be her husband.
It could be a troll. If it was that whole drama at the time, it was probably just somebody creating that account. If that's all
Yup.
that account
I'd
tweets
love
about.
to know that guy's real identity. Dying to know who that is. Oh, yeah. That seems sus. You're right, Ian. Well, we know his name is Nick Lee. We just don't know.
His name is Nick Lee, but again, that's like
It may not be the body.
one of the most common names you could pick from. People that are saying that and sharing that account, I'm actually timing you out. That is literally a dox account that you're sharing in our chat right now, so please stop spamming.
Yeah, so this is a Twitter account that was sent to me too. There's like, a fake Nick Lee account that was made when like all the husband stuff came out 2 years ago, and apparently it just has like straight doxes all over the page. Very disgusting.
That is not his real Twitter account. That is meant to reveal their address and private information.
And I just can't wait to see his face, man. Is it illegal to ship shit to somebody?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of shit?
Also, by the way, I don't know why Ethan's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see his face, because like, it's really easy to see Amaranth's husband's face. Well, now there's just so much like other stuff about him because of the new situation. Let's see. Okay, let me just go to the video. All right.
Yesterday I was minding my.
So his face is in this video. Where is it? Where is it? Come on, I'm trying to make a point. Yeah, here's his face. So, there you go.
But like, what would the legalities be if it were
My
like, is it written?
If we find out that this guy is, can we ship him shit?
Ship
I'm
him
asking
shit.
hypothetically. I'm not, of course, doing it or encourage anyone to do it. But that'd be, if you just received a package and there was poop in it, that's just kind of.
Trust me, once it's public, he's going to be getting more shit than one man can handle.
Not for me.
Yeah, let's contribute.
No.
No.
What is
for me.
Olivia saying, dude? She's making it worse.
What the hell are you talking about?
Let's contribute. Also, this is so dumb, right? Who else do you think lives at Amaranth's husband's address? They're married. They live in the same house. If you're sending poo to Amaranth's husband, you're sending poo to Amaranth herself. Like, what is this? If you dox Amaranth's husband, you're doxing Amaranth. I don't know how this doesn't like cross any of their minds.
And I don't want anyone to ship him a box of their homemade feces, right, Dan?
Should stop talking about this. This is not a good track we're going down.
Oh, Dan's pissed. Okay. People are saying it's illegal. Yeah,
it's obviously illegal. And
no, don't do it. What am I doing?
we've already almost doxed the wrong person and sent a hate mob of them. So it's lots of not very sharp people in the audience that might take your comedic suggestion as a real suggestion and do it.
But it's just not what I would do, or
I get it.
recommend anyone to do. What can you send that's legal in the mail then? Dan?
Don't send him anything.
Why are they still like dude? And we still have 2 minutes left. Like, why are they still going down this route of like joking? Obviously, he's saying don't actually do it or whatever, and he's making jokes. But the longer you joke about this, especially like with detail, like what can you do or whatever, it just gives more ideas to like the 1 or 2 psychos out of the like couple 100,000 watching to do something. It only takes one person.
To stop talking about.
And obviously, you're not like fully responsible for your audience, but there's a reason Dan's saying this,
About
right?
harassing this guy.
What are you talking about? I'm not harassing anybody. I'm just hypothetically wondering.
Y'all ready for a week off?
Well, they did get a week off, but for something different. That's what's so crazy about it. He's saying like so much like TOS-y stuff, like the Ben Shapiro stuff and this that just happened recently. Like, dude, you only can afford to get a strike once every couple months to wait for the first one to expire. If you start layering strikes on top of each other, channel termination. He's got to be smarter. Like, I don't know why he's so dumb with this shit.
What? You think I'll get banned for that?
Yes, absolutely. Encouraging your fans to
I'm
harass
not.
somebody in
You're
real life.
the one that keeps saying I'm encouraging. I'm just wondering hypothetically. Nobody's encouraging.
Okay.
Nobody do that. You're the one that's saying I'm encouraging. I'm not
You're right.
encouraging.
You're right.
You're making it worse.
Mom, Dad, I love
mean-
you both.
I mean,
Please
what's
stop
going
this.
on here?
Stop this. Don't make me choose.
I just said, can you mail a box of shit? What the hell, dude? Is it that serious?
Dude! 2 hours after Olivia first doxed Nick Lee, the music producer.
We got something we need to address right now. Let me send it to you, Ethan. This is
Bad?
exactly what I was afraid. Yeah, bad.
What?
As I predicted, our fans are harassing the wrong person.
But
And that's why I was saying, I know you were saying don't do it, but the fucking idiot
Surprise fucking Pikachu after Dan warned him a million times.
in our audience are always going to end up doing it. So, and
well, there's so many Nick Lees. You guys don't even know who I was looking.
that's what I was saying. And that's people are dumb.
The issue with this is that he is a
yeah, yeah.
songwriter, composer, as you said.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's Asian.
not a musician.
Who is Nick
I
Lee?
apologize really profusely.
So here he is, Nick Lee. Who is Nick Lee, you guys? This fucking guy has not a goddamn thing to do
With Amaranth.
So they just like talked about like a random guy on Instagram. It reminds me of there's a guy on Twitter who's just like a Chinese guy or Asian guy. I don't know his exact ethnicity, and he's named Chris Chan. And everyone's like, oh my god! Like whenever a Chris Chan controversy happens, like the other Chris Chan who's like the Sonic person. Everyone's like, oh my god, Chris Chan, and then he's like, I'm not actually Chris Chan. But, I mean, it's easier to tell with that guy because we know that the infamous Chris Chan's not Asian, but it kind of reminds me of that.
Amaranth.
Not related in any way.
Nick Lee, producer, songwriter, composer. Not associated with Amaranth, in fact.
That's what I kept saying. It's like an extremely common name. And this guy is obviously, he's the puppeteer. He's behind the scenes. He's probably not even on social media.
Sorry about that, dude.
Well, I fucked up.
Let's go with that.
It was definitely me. A Reddit thread led me to the wrong place, and
Oh my god, using Reddit as definitive research on this live show? Bruh, Olivia really needs to step it up as an employee. Like, what? Like, just saying, like, definitively, like, this is him. Go after him. He's a music producer. Like, looking at all his bio of this other random Nick Lee. It's just, like, you went too far. Like, I can get, like, accidentally making the mistake of thinking this guy is him, but then to, like, state his, like, occupation and, like, direct people to this, it's like, come on, dude. And also, they live together. I don't know.
I
Crazy.
should not have said his profession when I didn't know for sure.
We didn't know 100%.
There it is. Sue Olivia, not me.
I was in Olivia L, and I will live
Olivia
by
L.
the rest.
Now, speaking of an Olivia L, someone sent this to me, and I found this really, really weird. So, a lot of the other, employees on H3, they were just kind of hired through pretty regular means. The only, I think, special hire, aside from Olivia that we're going to get into, was AB because he made, the videos defending H3, and then they kind of became YouTube friends, and then that's how he got employed. But most of these people are employed normally. Right? But here is how Olivia got hired on H3, and it kind of sheds some light on why she might not be the best at her job.
Olivia, why is acupuncture the only reason you work here?
When I was
Acupuncture is the only reason she works here. Let's figure out why.
sending emails over and over again to try to get in touch and get a job, I wasn't hearing back, so I was like, okay, I need to find a different way. So I went through everybody that you guys followed on Instagram to try and find an indirect link. And it turned out my godmother had done acupuncture one time on someone who worked at Teddy Fresh.
Can we talk about how nutty that is? She wanted to work for H3. She emailed him a bunch of times, no response, right? So the way to get a connection is he went to his Instagram, went through his whole following, and tried to find a connection. And the connection he found, or she found, is that her grandmother did acupuncture on someone who doesn't work for H3, but works for his wife on Teddy Fresh. Isn't that nutty? Isn't that insane?
Oh, that's how.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's so funny.
what?
Yeah, bro.
But I remember. Hold on. I remember it was Chu who.
Yeah.
Who was like, "Hey, you should get a hold of them."
Yeah, I had never met him before.
So wait, why did he recommend you? Because he was like really
Because
emphatic about it.
My godmother texted his wife and was like, how do you, like, my goddaughter says that you follow these people on Instagram, and she was like,
Goddaughter. So it wasn't even grandmother. It was a god grandmother or something like that.
yeah, he actually works with them.
That's so funny.
And then I got in touch with Chio.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, there's this young or like this girl who she's really super talented." He was like talking you the fuck up.
Oh my God, that is so nice.
And then I was like, "Okay, I'll try her as an internship if you recommend her."
And I was like, God, no, please, no recommendations by friends.
Yeah, bro.
Then Olivia
did
came
say
and I
that.
put her ass to work, and she was great. And I was like, okay, I love her.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, acupuncture did something.
Okay, it's done something. Shout out acupuncture.
1 point.
By the way, please don't try to social engineer my life.
Right.
Anyone listening to get a job here? Thank you. It only works once.
It worked, yeah, just from.
Yeah, I don't think Ethan was very happy that was the way she got hired, but I guess he likes her as an employee, so it is what it is. But like, god damn, that is a very intrusive way of getting hired. I guess it worked out for them, or maybe not, because of that Olivia moment that just happened earlier this week. But wow. All right, let's double check if there's any more Ethan Klein tweets. And then I think we're going to wrap up here, and I'm going to raid you guys into Dead on Dave. All right. Noam Blum says, Ethan Klein is just a nerd who doesn't know how to be edgy. He dislikes... Oh, wait. Didn't I already read that one? I feel like we've read all of these. All right. I guess that's it. Unfortunately, I can't really see all of, like, the responses directly to Ethan or whatever because I'm blocked. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to look at the donations we got. And then I'm going to raid into Dead on Dave, who's doing a great stream right now. I think Nicholas Diorio might be on, who is someone we just read stuff from. So let me just get that up. I apologize for this taking a bit. Obviously, a little bit more new to streaming. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comment section of this video once it turns into a VOD. You know, if you like this format better or the regular Twitterverses or whatever. Because I am experimenting. So I would love feedback in that regard. I'm about to get to the super chats. I think I read all of them, but we can double check here. Yeah, I think I actually read all of these. I don't think I missed any. All right. Okay. There we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my coverage. My throat was a little bad right now. I'd say this is probably the weakest out of my streams I've done so far, but you know, if you liked the weakest one, I would appreciate you giving me the feedback with the likes or in the comment section or whatever. I'm going to move you guys over to Dead on Dave. Again, thank you guys so much. Love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.